Where are you from?
Originally, Oxford.
But like, what's your heritage? Do people ask you that question often?
Never, because I am white.
The royal family has been embroiled in a racism scandal. Again. So I'm taking one simple question to the British public. Where are you from?
Originally, Oxford.
But like, what's your heritage?
What do you mean?
Like, where are you from?
Oxford.
Like, where's your family from?
I've never known my dad, and my mum is from Oxford.
Excuse me, mate. Where are you from?
Leicestershire.
But like, where are you really from?
In what context?
Like, what's your heritage?
Oh, what would I say I am?
Yeah.
I would say I'm white British from Leicestershire.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cambridge.
But like, where are you really from?
My mum.
But like, what's your heritage?
Bit Scottish, up north.
So you first generation immigrant then?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Came down here.
From London.
Family, first generation, second generation?
I guess London, second generation.
Yeah.
No, first generation.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
But like, what's your heritage?
England and Scotland, but I'm from London.
So yeah. Okay, so you're sort of really from England, Scotland, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It feels quite awkward me asking you about this, doesn't it? Like this.
Weird. Yeah.
You can imagine how if someone else was saying that and the first time they met someone in the way that I'm doing it right now, creates an uncomfortable atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially because I can tell what you want me to say.
Did you feel awkward at all when I was asking you that?
Yeah, because I didn't really understand why you were asking it. I think it was the reason why, as opposed to what my answer was.
Yeah.
So it's that, do I give you data? It's like, well, why do you want to know that?
New York City.
So you're American?
Yeah, well, I'm both, but I live in New York, yeah.
So are you a first generation immigrant?
Yes.
Do you know why I'm asking you this question?
I don't.
A woman at Buckingham Palace resigned yesterday after asking a black lady
Yeah,
where she was really from.
I saw that.
Like, where you're really from.
Yeah.
Do people ask you that question often?
Never, because I am white, and that is a pretty big privilege. But I live in America, so I'm no stranger to the "Where are you from?" comments, and it's pretty common, unfortunately. But I'm glad it's getting attention, and that it's not like being shoved under the rug.
Would you describe yourself as an immigrant, or
No, I mean, because I grew up here, and I think, you know,
you were born here, so you're British?
I would say I am British, yeah.
Do you know why I'm pursuing this line?
I do understand the story that you're trying to pursue. Yeah, it's the royal family story. I don't know. Do you have a question about it?
I do have a question about it, and has anyone that line of questioning with you there?
Yeah.
Where you're from, there, where you're really from?
Yeah.
Has anyone
not
ever?
With me? No, not with me personally.
Why do you think that is?
Well, because I'm white. And yeah, I mean, I think when you read the news story, it was just absolutely like repugnant. Like but the actual line of questioning and how deep it goes, and even if it was like, let's say in a perfect world, it wasn't race related, there's still. It was still incredibly rude, and like, it's an old woman, and she should know, even if it had nothing to do with race, which it obviously did, that it's still extremely rude.
It's quite awkward, this, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I think it's more you than me, though.
Yeah, 100% it is. I'm doing it to make a point.
Yeah. Interesting.
Do you know why I'm asking you this?
No idea.
So yesterday at Buckingham Palace, there was a black guest at the palace,
Okay.
and she was repeatedly asked where's she from, what's her heritage.
Yeah.
She's British, from Hackney. She said which organisation she was there with, but obviously the person asking her the question was trying to ask her something else.
Okay.
Has anyone ever, that line of questioning we've just shared there,
Yeah.
has anyone ever been like that with you before?
No, I don't think so. But I think it's probably because of the colour of my skin, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think you hear it quite often. I think growing up, younger, I grew up in quite a diverse kind of area of the country as well. And I think that was a line of questioning maybe that was quite common. And it was always like, well, if you're not white, then it means that like your heritage is not from the UK. And I think it's just quite an archaic way of like having that kind of conversation. But then when you speak to other people that maybe their heritage is from somewhere else outside of the UK, they quite commonly be like, oh, I'm from Sierra Leone or my family's from there. But I think it's depending on the motivations and the the line of questioning, and I think it's the nuance within it, and I think it's where it's actually coming from and stuff like that.
I think unfortunately probably I've got that space where when that kind of stuff happens I just sort of, I just have to accept it for what it is, because I don't know how in the bigger picture how something like that can be fixed if so many people are still walking around with that kind of mindset. And for me, I'm just like, as long as it doesn't affect my day-to-day lifestyle.
You saw the story about Buckingham Palace then, yeah?
Yep.
What did you think when you saw that?
I don't read much about the royals, to be honest. I don't care what they think.
Good for you. When I said to you, where are you from, and kind of made that remark about being an immigrant, how did it make you feel?
Well, for me, because I don't have to deal with racism every day, it just made me laugh. It's, you know, it's fine for me. I don't have to deal with that stuff every day from you know, people like the royals.
So racist, you might call them. I could call them.
I would call them racist as well, 100%.
Particularly in light of events over the last couple of years, right, with Meghan Markle and what she was saying about the family. Some people actually doubted the veracity of what she said, right? And then things like yesterday happen, and it's like...
Yeah, I would 100% believe someone like Meghan Markle before I believe the royals.
I mean, even before she went into the palace, I did think, oh gosh, there's going to be a lot of racism stepping into that. Obviously, I can't speak for her, but for me, I think it's very obvious that would be in an institute like that.
Yeah, and it just shows how kind of racist our royal family is, and like I don't even understand why people are surprised, like the way they treated Meghan, and like compared to how they treated Kate. These are what these people are about, and I just think we should wash our hands of it, to be honest. Yeah.
Wash our hands of the royal family.
Yeah,
We're talking building a guillotine?
I'm not saying build a guillotine. I'm saying I think we should restructure what it means to be what the royal family is.
Change the constitution. Change
it, yeah. Because obviously it's not working. Because we're a multicultural society, and if it doesn't, and if they're not ready to be in a multicultural society, then they're not ready to be British.
Well, I mean, it's right off the back of another member of the royal family not touching a black person's skin, so they have a long history. A very long history.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. A very, very long history.
French history.
When, just to go a little bit more recent in that history, when Meghan Markle accused members of the royal family of having racist attitudes, a lot of people suggested that she was lying or being dishonest about that. Do you think events of recent days would kind of illustrate that perhaps she was telling the truth?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that she's probably telling the truth, and it's interesting who people choose to believe and when.